I never imagined my 26th birthday dinner would change my life so drastically. We went to a restaurant he had chosen. Not my favorite spot, but I didn't care. I was just glad he remembered my birthday this year. My closest friends, Rebecca and Liliana, joined us as well. At first, everything seemed normal. Drinks, appetizers, the usual birthday routine. But Harrison kept slipping away to the bathroom every 15 minutes. During one of his absences, Rebecca glanced at her phone and froze. She quickly showed Liliana something, and they both went silent. I asked what was wrong, but they brushed it off. "Nothing," Rebecca said, shoving her phone into her bag. "Just some silly social media drama." Harrison came back smiling, kissed me on the cheek, and asked why everyone looked so serious. I said we were just deciding on dessert. He laughed and told me to order whatever I wanted. It was my special day after all. Throughout dinner, Harrison kept his arm around me, snapping selfies for Instagram, captioning them with things like "birthday girl" and "my world" filled with heart emojis. On the way back to his apartment, I kept thinking about Rebecca's reaction and about how odd Harrison had been lately. Always on his phone, distant, canceling plans last minute. His dad had lost his job the year before, and money was tight. My father owns a distribution company and gave Harrison a job, paying him far more than his work justified, simply because he thought Harrison made me happy. Dad even helped him with rent for almost a year. When we got back to Harrison's apartment, he said he had a special birthday surprise planned. I told him I was tired. He got annoyed, insisting he had put in so much effort and that I was being ungrateful. Later that night, when he finally fell asleep, I texted Rebecca, "Show me what you saw." 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then reappeared. Finally, she wrote, "Are you sure? It's bad." "Just show me," I replied. Seconds later, she sent a link. With shaking hands, I opened it. Harrison's secret TikTok account, the one he swore didn't exist, claiming TikTok was stupid and only for kids. It featured a series titled "Rating My Girlfriend's Friends," with 6 videos already posted. The newest video had my face as the thumbnail, with a giant red X across it. My heart pounded as I pressed play. Harrison's voice filled the room. "I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request. I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request." I looked over at Harrison, sleeping peacefully beside me, the same man who had said he loved me only hours before. For 3 years, I believed he cared, while he used my family's kindness and betrayed me for online attention. When I checked his phone, it only got worse. Messages with his friends mocking me, dating apps he had hidden, proof that he was living in an apartment my dad owned, driving a car my dad helped buy, working at a job my dad created for him, all while humiliating me online and laughing behind my back. The bitter truth was I had convinced my dad to help Harrison in the first place, and now he had turned everything into a joke at my expense. I could have woken him up right then, yelled, cried, thrown his phone in his face, but I didn't. I realized confronting him immediately would lead nowhere. He would deny, claim it was a joke, or accuse me of overreacting. The only thing he might actually lose was my dad's money, not me. The videos proved he didn't care about. So I stayed quiet. The next morning, I made him breakfast, kissed him goodbye, and acted like nothing was wrong. Then, I called Rebecca and Liliana. I told them I had seen everything, and I told them I wasn't just going to cry or simply break up with him or even expose him. No, what Harrison had done to me called for something far more deliberate. I needed a plan that would make him regret every single word he had ever said about me. I kept thinking about those videos, him calling me fat, ugly, and a creature. About him telling strangers he was suffering by being with me. About the comments his friends left, the ones he laughed at and encouraged. Then the dessert came. Harrison got down on one knee, opened a small box, and started saying how much he loved me, how he couldn't imagine life without me, how he wanted forever with me. I looked at his face, the cheap ring he'd probably bought on credit, and the people around us smiling, thinking they were witnessing a romantic proposal. I said exactly what I had planned all along. No. His smile vanished. He tried to laugh, assuming I was joking. I wasn't. I repeated it, louder this time. Harrison stood, embarrassed, asking if we could talk somewhere private. I told him no. I was fine having this conversation right here. I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request. I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request. That night, he flooded my phone with calls and messages. Anger, then begging, then threats. I blocked him on everything. He tried reaching me on Instagram, Snapchat, even an old college email. I blocked those too. When he left notes at my apartment, security kept him out. When he called my dad's office, reception cut him off. Rebecca and Aleliana came over to celebrate, but all I wanted was to shower and erase him from my skin. I spent hours deleting his posts, his pictures, his messages, scrubbing him from my life. Over the next week, he showed up where he knew I'd be. The coffee shop, the grocery store, even my gym. Pretending it was coincidence. Pretending to apologize. His words were always the same. I'm sorry you misunderstood. I love you. I need you. I ignored him, walked past like he didn't exist. One night, Rebecca and I saw him idling across from a bar. I pulled out my phone and filmed as I walked up to his car. Asked if he was lost. He looked startled, then angry, then pretended he was waiting for someone. I told him to leave or I'd call the police. Rebecca had already dialed. He sped off. That was the last time I saw him in person for a while. But online, he didn't stop. Vague posts about betrayal and fake women. His friends tried to harass me, but I locked down my accounts, changed my number, and moved on. My dad offered security, but I refused. I wasn't afraid. I was finished. Meanwhile, my dad's lawyer sent him notice of every lease violation. Illegal subletting, property damage, the pet snake. He had 30 days to vacate, and maintenance checks kept coming. He ranted at the property company, but they only reminded him of the contract. His friends disappeared. Vincent wouldn't get involved. Then the car was repossessed. Rebecca snapped a photo of Harrison standing on the curb, arms crossed, watching the tow truck haul it away. I saved it as a reminder of what losing looks like. Work was next. My dad reassigned him to overnight shifts at the warehouse. Long hours, no sunlight, the worst tasks. No one wanted to talk to him. The only reason he kept the job was because my dad wanted him close enough to finish the plan. I kept building my case, screenshots, videos, texts. Rebecca and Aleliana helped me organize it all. Some of the group chat jokes were cruel beyond belief, even about my late mom. That nearly broke me, but I refused to give him that power. By the time his 30-day eviction was up, Aleliana texted me. He's moving out. I drove by. There he was, dragging trash bags, looking over his shoulder like he knew he was finished. But men like Harrison don't fade quietly. Days later, someone scrawled "gold-digging whale" on my apartment door. I laughed, took a picture, and scrubbed it off. No fear, no anger, just boredom. He tried spreading lies to my dad, claims I cheated, stole, even abused him. My dad ignored it. The lawyer just added each lie to the file. His last attempt was a handwritten letter left at my office. The receptionist threw it out. She knew the routine. Weeks later, I got a call from the warehouse manager. Harrison had stopped showing up, left behind a locker of junk. I told him to toss it. Then, one Monday, I saw Harrison outside my office holding a cardboard sign that said, "Please forgive me." He looked terrible. The receptionist whispered he'd been there for 3 days. I shrugged and told her to call security if he tried to come in. By lunch, he was gone. The sign stayed behind, propped against the trash can. I snapped a photo and sent it to my friends and Dad. That was the last time I saw him. I don't know what he'll try next, but I know he'll never get forgiveness, never get attention, never get another chance. Weeks passed. Harrison stopped appearing, though people I barely knew started messaging me, asking if everything was okay, if the rumors were true. Even Vincent reached out, begging me to give Harrison closure. I blocked him too. If you're still defending someone who built a brand out of mocking me, you're out of my life. The eviction was finalized. The apartment was trashed, and Harrison was billed for every penny. My dad laughed at the invoice, called it karma. I didn't care about the money, just that it was over. At work, I got another update. Harrison showed up for his last paycheck, shouting about being set up, about how he deserved better. The manager said he just handed him the check and locked the door behind him. By my next birthday, I realized I hadn't thought about him in weeks. I celebrated with my friends and Dad, laughed until my stomach hurt, and wore the red dress Harrison once said was too much. I looked in the mirror and finally liked what I saw. Sometimes I still get strange DMs or requests. I forward them to the lawyer, block, and move on. I know Harrison's out there, probably spinning his story about how I ruined his life. But I'm not worried. I know who I am, and I know what he is. I hope he never forgets what he lost, and that every time he hears my name, he remembers he's nothing but a footnote in my story. A cautionary tale, not a tragedy.